Welcome to Realm IQ Sessions, featuring conversations on AI with AI founders, AI leaders, and experts from around the globe covering the intersection of media, technology, Hollywood, and marketing. Please give us a follow and subscribe. This is our host, Kurt Doty.
Hey there, newbies. It's been a while, but we are going to close out our season 3 with a series of interviews that I find pretty darn interesting. And it's a series called Cloud Masters, where we talk with leading AI filmmakers from around the world. And yes, I'm talking about the Cloud Film Fest again. Seems to be all I'm doing right now, but that's okay. It's exciting. These guests are either curated by being one of our many judges, or they're a contestant in the competition, or they're just simply doing amazing things in the industry, the burgeoning new industry called AI filmmaking. So for today's interview, we talked to Josie Kaye, and she's an AI story architect and consultant helping studios, platforms, and creators build story-first, production-ready AI workflows for animation, IP, and narrative content. She has over 15 years experience in writing, directing, and animation, and her recent work in AI spans many things and franchises, and her work appears on TikTok and YouTube. And she's also named one of LinkedIn's top 100 AI creators. So that's pretty cool, right? And she has an adorable film that she entered into our festival called the Dustlings. So great concept. We're going to talk to her about that. So let's get into it. Josie, how you doing? It's so great
Hi, I'm really good.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, thanks for joining us today, and really looking forward to the conversation. So, yes, we're talking about AI and film, and you have made really an adorable short little film recently that got into our film festival, the Cloud Film Fest, and called the Dustlings, and it was really fantastic. And I took note to that work, and then your background, and so I'd love to hear. And our audience would love to hear how you got into AI filmmaking. I think you've had a crazy journey, but why don't you tell us about that?
It's been all over the place, but I feel so blessed and so lucky. So I come from a background of marketing and entertainment for about 15 years. I was an actor, a screenwriter. I pitched in LA for like 6 years, TV pilots mostly, a little bit of movies. Had some good traction, but then not enough traction to like get something made. So, I had a manager and I was pitching, and, I met a lot of amazing executives like at Disney and Warner Brothers, and they all loved me. And they loved my scripts, but the issue was they weren't going to make any of it. So they were like, "We love it. Come back with something else. Whenever you write something, come back." And I just kept doing that for 6 years. And to pay the bills, because obviously I wasn't getting paid for screenwriting yet, I did social media marketing. I did dog sitting. I pretty much did it, all kinds of things. At one point, I made commercials. That was actually earlier than that. I produced commercials and had a production company that I ran, like solopreneur, and did that for some big brands. And so I guess this was 2023, and my brother sends me this AI video of somebody out there had made, and he was like, "This seems like up your alley." And I was like, I watched it, and it was like this sci-fi kind of thing, but it was very in slow motion, but it looked cool. Like it looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
And my mouth kind of dropped open because I was like 3 months ago, maybe 4, it was like Will Smith eating spaghetti. That was like the meme for everything AI, was just like, this is hilarious. He's got 6 fingers
and awful.
And it doesn't, it looks terrible. Haha, AI sucks. And within 4 months, I saw this incredible kind of work of art, even though there was no lip syncing or, there wasn't anything too fancy, but the actual quality had jumped so fast. And I got really excited, and I started reaching out to people about AI. And I found this guy named Dale Williams, who's still my friend now. So Dale and I started talking, and I was like, hey, maybe I could get you repped in LA. Maybe we can do something, or maybe we can collaborate. And we started talking over a few months, and he was really excited actually we were going to do a sizzle of one of my TV pilots that I had pitched around town in LA. It's called My Friend Death. and it's a dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was into that kind of thing. We hit it off. He feels like a brother to me. And so we started talking, and then he was already doing a lot of AI. Like he had started earlier. And he's like, you know what? I'm really sorry, but we just got a couple AI jobs, and I just don't have the capacity to do a collab right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, totally, I get it. And I was really like, oh. And then, kind of in my normal entrepreneur style, I was like, wait a minute, I've been editing professionally for 15 years. Why am I not figuring this out? Why is
Right.
it too hard? And so I took a month off so it was January 2024. I took a month off of my social media business. I told my clients I had other stuff to do. I was just taking a month, and I taught myself AI video in that month and made a short, which was it was 4 minutes long, which is kind of ridiculous. But that was the opening, and it started everything. And then within, I would say by June, I was hired as an AI artist. So from January to June, I got hired with a startup called Invisible Universe. And I was working on Jennifer Aniston's cartoon dog named Clydio. And I was running the campaigns for Jennifer Aniston's dog.
That's a claim to fame.
It is. Yeah. So yeah, it was, I was all of a sudden I was doing, her stuff. And then there was a lot of celebrity partnerships they had. So like Serena Williams was one of the other people. And then for the Gen Zers who would know this, it's Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio. And I ran their YouTube show and produced it, and even taught myself how to do partial animation, not AI, but like real, at least Adobe character animation.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then it's been great ever since. It's been 2.5 years. And I mean, every day is it's like a blessing and an adventure because things are moving crazy fast.
So quickly. So what's interesting is that you started as a writer. And
Mm-hmm.
what I had always predicted about this rapid development in AI was that, the hacks and experimenters get in first and they put everything up and they talk about how cool it is, and the haters join in and say how awful it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the controversy that existed in that first phase. And then the second phase, as you noted, the AI video got better and longer, and you had more control. And all of a sudden, the storytellers emerged, just like
Yeah.
yourself. People
Yeah.
who had years of experience of writing or editing or creating, or they're creative directors or they're producers, whatever. All of a sudden, they were empowered with these tools, and that
Exactly.
storytelling started to happen. And then AI festivals started to pop up all over the world, and all these independent souls,
Yeah.
talent, started to get laurels in their array of laurels, and
Yeah.
which is cool. I think there's more AI film festivals than there are regular film festivals.
Really?
Well,
Actually,
I
this
mean,
is
it's kind of crazy.
with the Dustling, this is actually my first submitting an actual AI film. I hadn't submitted anything in the 2.5 years before that. So I'm excited to be a part of Clowd.
Yes, well, thank you for submitting, and it's a really wonderful film.
Thank you.
But why don't you tell us about how that story developed and how you created it, because it's so well done and so charming.
Thank you.
And I didn't know that there was a world beneath my feet as I look at my carpeting here. It's like, wow, I didn't
Yeah.
think about that, but you did. So
Yeah, I did. Well, I come from a background also of improv. I did improv for 10 years in sketch comedy, and both I was in New York and also in LA. And so definitely there's this, they really like teach it into you, is this theory of yes and, of like there's always more. So just think about, instead of thinking about the problems, like think about, well, like if this exists, what else exists? And I had just come off a job was that October, and I came off of it was for a big tech company, and I was under an NDA, and it was a tech sprint. I signed up for it not knowing that a tech sprint is you just work every day. I didn't know that.
yeah,
So I was like, whoops.
12 hours a day. Yeah, 7 days.
Yeah. And I also had my daughter, I was only 4 months postpartum, or no, 5 months postpartum. So my second daughter was only a few months old. You know, my husband tried to help as much as he could, and it was a mess. I did it though. I finished it, and everyone was happy with the project. But saying all that, I came off the project and I was really burnt out and really like, I need something creative that's just mine, that's like that I can freely tell stories, or this story or something that there's no rules. Because even though I really adored the people I was working with, like the showrunner that I was working with, you know, there's a lot of notes, and then you get notes from the tech company after your producers give you notes, then you get, you know, more notes. And I was just like, I'm burnt out, and I really need to like feel creative again. So I think I was cleaning. I mean, I'm a mom of 2, so of course I was cleaning. and I just came across like, I think some dust bunnies that were in the corner, and I thought, well, what if a little dust mite or a little something lived in there? What would that look like? Would there be others? Does he have a family? So
Yes, and
yes, and so, and then I started exploring the idea, and it was actually 6 months before I got it done, because a lot of stuff had happened, life stuff, but I just kept working on it, and I kept coming back to it. And the more that I kind of kept putting pieces in there, I was like, I think I got something really good here. Like I enjoyed myself so much, and I think that's why it's a legitimately one of my best pieces of work, because it's like, it's all the things that I wanted to say. Yeah, that was
well,
long.
I have to say your improv experience, I think it certainly helps with timing and humor. All that directly translates. And so, again, I think these people like yourself who have really qualified experiences that go beyond the experimenters really help elevate the medium and the technology to the next level.
Yeah.
And so without people like you, we're just never going to get beyond the experiment. And so I praise your efforts, and
Thank you.
the result is fantastic. And because you come from not only a writing community but an acting community,
Yeah.
where much of the AI controversy has been a lot of the noise, a lot of the
Yeah.
union strikes and deals made, and certain violations have happened,
Yeah.
likeness stolen. So what do you hear? What's the vibe within the acting community? Because that's something I haven't.
That's a huge part of this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't really delved into that with my
Yeah.
guest, because it's been on more on the creative side. Not that actors
Right.
are creative, but I'm just saying you're unique
You're
and
just a
new, and
face.
yeah, it's a pretty face. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No.
I'd love to know.
And actually, that's an interesting point, because like, I'm in SAG, and I've been in SAG after for, I don't know, it's been like 12 years or something. But I think I'm like in this weird crossroads where I am a SAG actor, and I'm not pursuing acting right now, but I love acting. And well, actually, that's another thing about this medium, is because I got to act without being cast in my own project. Like, I
Yeah,
did the voice of the narrator, who's an older British man. But I did that voice. I did 11 labs, and I changed my voice.
right.
But I basically had to do a pretty terrible British accent in my car. And I was just recording in my car and saying the
Uh-huh.
lines. And, but that was the effect, was it's sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty
Yeah.
believable, even though his accent is bizarre. I'll admit that.
Well, sorry for the British VO guy who didn't get the job, but
Yeah. Sorry, I beat him out.
yeah,
But I think with actors is they're terrified because they're being told that they're not needed anymore. And I just don't think that's the case. For example, is like my film, I didn't choose to do text to voice because it's bad. It's just bad.
yeah, you
Like,
can never get the intonation right, and then you speed it
exactly. And
up, you
that's,
slow it down, it sounds even more
doesn't
stupid.
matter. Yeah. And I had tried
Uh-huh.
it actually. I had tried it, and I realized that there was a loop of a pattern of tone that was, no matter what I said, the tone was going to be the same
Each
each
take, yeah,
time. And I was like, well, that's not needed. And so I think where my heart is I believe that there's a huge opportunity for actors right now, particularly actor writers, to dive into this and actually learn it and use it as leverage for their own careers. Because I think the human component is essential.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be other stuff where, I can see already there's avatar like AI influencers that are not branding themselves as AI influencers as just like this interesting person. That's already happened. It's going to be a commodities thing. It's going to be soulless, but that doesn't mean that's all that there is. And I think for actors like get interested, I do think that Matthew McConaughey has it right. He was smart and he's like, cool. Yeah, you want to hire my face? Hire it, but I'm trademarked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the way to do it. Like, yeah, he's taking initiative early.
Yeah, protect your IP, protect your identity, monetize it, right? In
Yeah.
these new ways, because it is illegal. People can't just steal it and put Tom Cruise into an action scene in a made up movie that
Yeah.
you just made up.
And that drives me crazy with because my LinkedIn, it's filled with amazing artists, AI people from all over the world. I'm kind of in a bubble because it's like I just see incredible
You and I
work.
both, sister, but yeah.
But then every once in a while, there's somebody that posts, they're like, yeah, I put Brad Pitt in this thing where he's a mailman and he's being chased by a dog. And I'm just like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
it's
Why would you
hurting the
do that?
entire industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Early on, I criticized, I don't know, creators, experimenter, hacker, whatever. He made this whole Star Wars cartoon and with R2D2. And I just commented to him, I said, so I'm sure you talked with George Lucas and Kathleen Freeman
so
and,
he
and
was
everything
cool, right?
cool. They're cool, right? And somehow you paid for the licensing. And, I think he took it down pretty quickly. But, people were just excited, that they could do that. But that's,
Right.
right. It's not ethical.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, and I come from, the movie world as well. And the, like the number one thing on like special behind about content on DVDs back in the day that people, and we did these surveys. I was at Universal. It's like they want to put themselves in the movie, and this was 13 years ago, let's say.
Okay.
And it was just inconceivable, completely impossible to do, but people wanted to do it.
They
That was
wanted it.
like they
Yeah.
just wanted to be Humphrey Bogart, and just like
Right.
or be Tom Cruise, or they wanted to see themselves. It was like a vanity play, right?
Yep.
And then, and I was always kind of vetoing those ideas because it's just like too costly, just really difficult, and the
Yeah.
sequences and all that just not going to happen. So it's ironic that now you can do that. You with it. It's
You
not about
can.
putting Tom Cruise in your movie. It's about you being Tom Cruise in Top Gun in a scene
Right.
recreated as your face. And
Right.
it's kind of the reverse legal issues because, okay, so you're using the scene from the movie and putting
Right.
yourself in there. Is that legal? I don't know, but it's just amazing what the
Yeah.
technology can do. But, I think real storytellers recognize the technologies and its capability, and they say, yeah, I'm going to do my own story. I'm not going to try to retrofit or play around with other movies. It's like, no, I want to create my own story. And that's what you
Yeah.
did. And that's
Yeah.
the opportunity. And it's really, I think people with the background like yours, which is diverse, from editing, creating, acting, and you then the outcome that you want because you've been there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people are historically have been in this experimentation phase, and they just give a prompt and magically something appears and they go with it because they don't even know what they're doing it for. They're not doing it for a
Right.
purpose.
It's just a experiment, like you
It's
said.
experiment and
Yeah.
it just ends there. But that's what has contributed to the AI slop that gets so much criticism. So the sooner
Right.
that true storytellers like yourself can enter the fray and start putting up these, cute and warm and adorable little stories that have a true connection with an audience, and that drowns out all the other stuff,
Right.
hopefully the mainstream media will get off this AI slop thing, because it's really,
I mean, I don't like it either. I mean, the AI slop,
no,
I
we
don't
all
like it
don't like
either.
it. That's why we're
Yeah,
doing
we're
something
trying. Yeah.
different, right?
Yeah.
But yet it's the sensational headline, and so that's what gets the
Right.
noise. The thing with the most noise and controversy gets all the press and all the social media, and it's just like it's really
Yeah.
clouding the true opportunity here with this technology. And let's take a break.
The Cloud Film Fest invites AI filmmakers from around the world to submit their short films to an international competition and festival built for what's next in cinematic storytelling. The Cloud Film Fest will premiere in Southern California the week before LA Tech Week at the Alex Theatre in Glendale, California, for its first annual AI Film Festival event, October 7th and 8th. AI filmmakers who wish to submit their works for consideration should visit cloudfilmfest.com, that's with a W, and at hike.com, that's with 2 I's. So, stop posting and start submitting. The final deadline is August 19th, 2026.
And we're back.
Right. Yeah. I think I think about this a lot of I think it was 2017. Now this was for other work that was just traditional indie filmmaking stuff, and I had submitted a short film, I think a script as well, and I got into a little festival in Nice, France, and they purposely did it at the same time as Cannes.
Uh-huh.
So I took a train trip over to Cannes, even though I didn't have like a badge. I bought a badge when I was there, but so I was like, I want to experience this, even though I don't have I have anything here. But I remember that was the year that Netflix had the first movie that it was a streamer that had a movie at Cannes, and it
Okay.
was Okja. I don't know if you remember that. I never actually fully watched it, but it was about a little girl and this like hippo creature
Oh,
thing.
yes, yes, of course, yeah.
But
Animated,
the
animated.
yeah, partially animated. I think it was a hybrid. And I remember hearing the disdain and the disgust with everybody there who was like, this is the end of film. It's the end of film. Streamers are here. It's disgusting. And I look at what's happening now. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Well, post COVID, we couldn't go to the theaters, so
Exactly.
everyone fell in love with streaming and fell in love with documentaries because they were watching
Mm-hmm.
10 hours of TV a day, and it wasn't
Trying to
necessarily
survive.
primetime cable. It was just like, oh my God, I got to watch something besides news. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so everyone was, and then everyone, cocooned, and they bought the big TVs, and they were getting cheaper. You can get like
Yeah.
freaking a wall TV, and it's cost $500. I see them
Right.
at
Right.
Costco. It's like, really? Can we just take this home and like try to mount it on the wall? It's like huge. So yeah, the in-house cinema, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
really gave permission for the audience to just watch a plethora of new shows and movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, Netflix and Prime and Apple now has some killer
Apple's
content.
got some great stuff. Yeah.
So and they're getting nominated. It's not just being in festivals, but getting Emmy
Yeah.
and
And I feel
Oscar
like
win.
rightly deserved. Like, I mean, I think that the streamers are actually they have enough money that they can take risks and they can be like, let's make this weird show about a person that's two people that gets severed in his brain.
It,
And it was like, that's a pretty weird idea.
yeah,
It's one of
yeah.
the best. I mean, I'm talking about Severance, but it's
Severance,
one
of
of the
course.
best shows I've ever seen, you know? But it's
I
wildly
never
different.
got
It's a
that
different.
analogy of the severance of the brain. I always thought just the
Oh,
entertainment contract, but you're right. Wow, I
yeah.
missed that. I must have my brain severed, but
It's all good.
yeah, you're right. Because and they're working with the Hollywood people that are acting and
The
all the other
best
stuff.
of the
So
best.
I mean, all those skills transferred. What didn't
Yeah.
transfer was the back end deals and
Yes.
all that. But they pay all the production, and they just don't offer the back end. So That's been the criticism why many in Hollywood didn't want Netflix to win the Warner Brothers bid. But I truly believe they would have been better than the Paramount bid, which has just been halted today or put on pause, which is
Oh, I didn't know it was halted. Oh.
yes, a federal judge said, yeah, we're
Said
going to
no,
pause
no.
this for a while and look into it. So that's all interesting how that'll play out. But yeah, the disruption in Hollywood, maybe starting, well, you were in con there, started with streamers and then mergers and acquisitions, which decreased the output of a fewer amount of studios. And that's a criticism of the Paramount
Yeah.
Warner merger was that, you can't create it. You won't create as many movies. You can't double the slate within a combined studio.
Right.
And production is down anyway in a year, ironically, where box office has finally come back to
Coming back. Yeah.
2019 levels, which
Yeah.
is great. And there have been some great films and not necessarily franchises like,
What? It's
start.
possible?
It is possible. Yeah. Original stories. But, what's interesting. So yes, there's this disruption in Hollywood. Meantime, AI filmmaking has risen all over the world, and new storytellers have emerged with unique, original stories. And they're wondering, well, how do I get into Hollywood, or should I? And it brings up to the discussion that, well, are there other forms of distribution,
Right.
versus the Hollywood model, which seems to be broken or declining or flawed as streaming takes over, and streaming has its flaws as well. So I'm encouraged by new platforms rising every day, and actually microdramas are actually
It's a
like the
huge
only thing
deal.
that's growing, the only thing that's
Yes.
growing in
I've
all
got a
the entertainment biz.
Yeah, I've got a friend in New York that he's a writer, and he was early on the whole vertical thing, and he was posting like, yeah, I was doing it before it was cool. Like nobody thought this was good. Everyone was shitting on it, and that's similar to with AI. Everyone just has this distaste for things that are different, and I'm not like a huge microdrama fan, but I guess from a business perspective, I see a new outlet. I see, and they don't
Yeah.
have to be like, they have a certain style right now, but it doesn't mean that microdramas, maybe it's a micro comedy instead of a microdrama. Like
Right. No, good point.
there's a lot you can do with it. Just because it's very kitschy right now and very like soapy doesn't mean that that's as far as it goes.
Right. No, it's like early television. What were
Yeah.
the It's like
It was like
radio
Ed
shows that
Sullivan.
converted
Yeah.
to TV, and then entertainment shows, variety shows that ended
Yeah.
up on TV, and just like how vaudeville affected early cinema.
Mhm.
Early cinema was developed based on, well, who do we put in front of this camera? And like, well,
Right.
there's these actors who are doing vaudeville and they're on a stage, and so that's became the tableau
Right.
became the tableau for
Right.
early cinema. It's a one act stage situation and slapstick comedy because it was vaudeville. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
at some point they said, hey, maybe we should make westerns,
Yeah.
get out of New York and go west, young man. And
And that was a whole, I mean, that was a beautiful,
that's the
long
birth of
industry.
Hollywood, right?
Birth
Yeah.
of Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah. I think about this a lot, though. I think about, that the early film, and like I think it was the very first film where they filmed a train
Mm-hmm.
and they filmed it on the tracks. And when they put it in front of people, everyone like dove to the
Yeah, they
side
freaked
because they were
out.
like,
Yeah,
whoa.
sure.
And I was telling actually my dad the other day, he's interested in AI, and I was like, that's us right now with AI and
Right.
robots. Like
Well, not
we're
even
just like,
robots, just, the fact that
yeah,
there's a synthetic actor, whatever, scene up there on the screen. Well, so all the people who had never seen a movie in, 1906,
yeah,
they had never seen anything like that. And so their perception was, this is not real. It's the end of the
right,
world.
yeah,
And certainly in Native American cultures, they're like,
yes,
you captured my image. That's like, what is going on
the
here?
right,
And
right,
and so all that, that's a very human response. And so if you understand that, put into the context of today, you are correct. We've been through this before.
Yeah, we have.
And
Yeah.
people will
And I
accept,
think,
celluloid people are not real people. People on
right,
film, they're not real people. And so you put synthetic on celluloid. It's like, yeah, they're
right.
still not real people, but
It's an
what's the
image of a
story?
person. Right.
What's the story? That at the end of the day, who cares about the technology?
Exactly.
What is the
Well,
story?
that's like when people, I mean, and I get people that are like, haters and stuff that sometimes pop into my LinkedIn and make a very like intense, you know, comment. And I feel like they're always like, this isn't real. This is not a real medium, or this is not a real, like, you're a hack because you're not using, the normal tools. And I feel like with AI, and it's if it's used properly, I mean, it's the same thing as CGI. Like, so I was like, if you've seen Jurassic Park and well, you should be disgusted by it. If you saw Jurassic Park and you hate AI, it should be disgusting because
Mm.
that's CGI and it's a tool. Those
Yeah.
dinosaurs were not there.
Yeah,
And
they couldn't be there.
they couldn't. That was the whole thing. So for somebody to be, I think it's very hypocritical and very like, maybe they type that nastily on their computer and then they go watch Jurassic Park or Star Wars, and it's like,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, inconsistent and ignorant, right?
Mm.
So there was a recent WNBA star that put out a tweet says, well, what about the farmlands, the vanishing farmlands, and what is it with these data centers? She put that on X, right? Which is Elon Musk, and data centers is the problem. So she's using the platform to post some,
It's
controversial
hard.
statement,
Yeah.
and she's supporting it, ironically. But it's that type
Right.
of ignorance that
Right.
you just have to ignore it and focus on the work and prove yourself, which you have done with your little
Thank
film.
you.
And I think that's where to put the energy and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And, we at Cloud Film Fest, what we're trying to do is put that on the big screen, get it off of YouTube, put
Yeah.
it on the big screen, and let the audience decide. When I say the big screen, a
Yeah.
movie theater, a movie palace, and,
Yes.
in an environment where you have people around you reacting and laughing
Yeah.
together and saying "ah" together or crying together, right? That's
Yeah.
that communal experience that everyone loves in the movies. And the
Mm-hmm.
true test of AI films and AI filmmaking is that, yeah, let's put it up on the big screen and let's see what
Let's
the
see what
audience
it does.
feels.
Yeah.
Right? And if they can get into the story, if there is a compelling story, then they're
Yeah.
going to react to it just like they would Toy Story 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which killed it at the box office. And you know what?
Yeah.
Didn't
It
kill it?
did.
Moana.
I know. Yeah.
Why remake
Yeah.
that great,
I don't. You know what's
animated
funny?
classic?
So my daughter, I have two girls, and one of them's 5, and she saw like the advertisement for Moana, and she saw The Rock and everything, and or Dwayne Johnson, and she goes, "Mom, there's another Moana," and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "But honey, it's the same story. It's just with people." And she goes, I said, "Do you want to see it?" And she goes, "No."
They love the original. It's like,
Yeah,
what
it's
was wrong
perfect.
with the original? So think of
Right.
the hundreds of millions that went into
Yeah.
that. That could make, 20 or 30 great indie movies, easily, if
True.
not
And
more. So,
I also feel terrible about the people that worked years on it, that,
yeah,
I mean, they had their job, but like, I would think that you would want the satisfaction like a Toy Story 5, where you're like,
yeah,
wow, we worked so hard for that time and people really enjoyed the film,
yeah. Well, we're just waiting for that live action Woody reenactment. So we'll see if that happens.
That's pivotal.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen. Thank God. So here we are, in an age where storytellers are rising. There's disruption in Hollywood. You have a really terrific background to get into this type of work, and seemingly like you're doing the work. You're like using
Mm.
AI now in your productions. Are you working in a hybrid mode? Are you pure AI? Like, describe some of your workflows?
Uh, right now, it's been purely AI, but it's all been animation focused. I'm not
Okay,
really sure why, but I just,
you're
actually, no,
good at it.
I'm,
You're good at
thank
it.
you. Thank you. I think though that, actually, I was talking to a friend the other day, and I think the reason I've been kind of leaning into AI is animation styles. Not only that I love it, but it takes away the factor of like having these shiny people that are not real enough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just takes that out. Yeah, and you don't have to defend it, and you don't have to like be like, I don't really love it when people are like, oh, that was AI and I didn't even know it. And I think I'm starting to feel that even when I'm like on TikTok or something and I'm seeing these ads, and I'm able to recognize that it's AI, but
Yeah.
I feel like 95% of people won't.
Right.
And I'm like, there's an ickiness that's there. So I think I've been subconsciously staying away from it. And then the clients that I've had, because I do a lot of client work and I do other projects, and it's all just been leaning kind of into animation. I do think that there is a tremendous opportunity with hybrid. Like
Mhm.
I have been working on who to partner with, uh, because I think that that's really the bridge to everything.
Yeah.
Because don't take away your actors, empower your indie filmmakers. What if you could make a, you know, Avengers style quality $100 million movie with 10 million and be able to have talent that's never been accessed, like they have never had access to that kind of opportunity before.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah. They probably
So I
get paid
think
the same rate, the SAG rates, whether it's an AI film or
exactly,
not, right? Because it's acting.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I'm excited to like lean to kind of figure that stuff out a little bit more, but I'm just kind of trying to figure it out with hybrid and testing some stuff.
Do you have any way that people can get in contact with you?
Yeah, yeah. You can come talk to me at my website, and you can see my work at Josie Kaye, JosiekaYE.ai. And yeah, all my stuff's there, my email's there. You could also find me on LinkedIn, just Josie Kaye. You'll see me. Those are like the two main ones.
Okay, awesome. You got the dot AI suffix. That's your
Snagged it.
flag in the ground, right? It's like, yeah, I
This is
do
what I'm
AI.
doing.
Lets people know. I mean, that's great. So I think you made a wonderful transition and, found a home and created opportunities for yourself. And,
Yeah,
based on your unique skills that are a combination of many different things, but resulting in, fabulous storytelling. So keep up the
thank
good
you.
work. Good luck
I
in our
will.
competition at our film
Thank you.
festival. Yes. Wish you the best and stay tuned and let's stay connected. Thank you so much for
Sounds good.
joining me today.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching this special edition of Cloud Masters, and we hope you find that these interviews are cool. I certainly do, really enjoying them. And speaking of Cloud, submissions close August 19th and judging will begin. Stay tuned on that public voting, which will be on the Rad TV platform. In fact, go there right now and subscribe to the Cloud Film Fest channel. If you have an AI film you want to submit, there are two more links we're going to talk about. One is to our site, cloudfilmfest.com, and our submission site, which is hike.com. That's with two I's. Our event is developing nicely as we're forming panel discussions. We'll have screenings of all the finalists, and there'll be an award show and networking opportunities, just what you want. And so it takes place at the Alex Theater in Glendale, California, which is a 100-year-old movie palace that is just freaking really cool. And we're so happy to be there. And I recently had visited and seen many of the renovations that have been going on there. And it's just going to be terrific. 2 nights of entertainment at the Alex. So check out the Alex at the Alex. And I want to give a special shout out to Miles Williams, the artistic director, and his team, who are really doing a great job of supporting us in the festival. So passes will be on sale soon. And so we'll see you at our next Cloud Master premiere. And if you live in SoCal, see you at the Alex in October.
To learn more about Cloud Film Fest, visit cloudfilmfest.com. That's Cloud with a W.
Subscribe to our Media Slam newsletter and learn more about the intersection of design, content, and technology. kurtdoty.co. Branding, marketing and product development.